Right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the monthly work station. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:45 p.m. Sorry for the delay. At this time, we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first, the review of the minutes of the regular Board of Education. Does anyone have any questions on the regular Board of Education meeting from October 25th?
No.
No? No. Okay, moving on. Questions on the next board agenda. Does anyone have questions on next week's board meeting, on the agenda for next week's board meeting? Anyone?
One more second.
Yeah, no problem.
On number 4, other items, Senior Scholarship Award Program, Clerical Team Ethnic Award.
Yep,
Yes.
I can speak to that.
And
The clerical unit is interested in sponsoring the scholarship and recognizing a graduating senior, and then specifically coming from them. They established a criteria for that. Personally, it's a good idea. It came from them, and I think it's a gracious gesture on them.
That's terrific. That's great. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? No?
No.
Okay, moving on. Items for discussion. There are 3 policies that we will be adopting at the next board meeting, and then we can discuss other policy matters at next week's or the next policy subcommittee meeting. The next item for discussion, hometown heroes.
Yeah, so we mentioned this, a few weeks back, a month back, about having a hometown hero award. And we brought it up at, one of our board meetings. I think Veterans Day is coming up. This would be a perfect time to, roll this out on our website. I don't know if that's okay with everybody, but I think, now would be a great time. So we can start getting that up there and getting someone for at least, not this meeting, I guess it's next week, but for December's meeting, at least we can start the, this hometown hero thing.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah, I think we do it.
All right, good.
Any other questions on that?
No.
No.
So it'll be a link on the website. I guess we'll be able to.
So, I just do have one question. So if we could do a link on the website, would that person be invited to a board meeting to be recognized?
Yeah, so the way we figured it was people would submit, whoever, James D. Tomaso, and he did X, Y, and Z, and then every month we'll pick somebody, the board will pick, all right, this month we're gonna have, yes, they'll be invited, the Pledge of Allegiance will be dedicated to James D. Tomaso, hometown hero, or X, Y, and Z, having a great orange coat. It could be, it doesn't have to be veteran, it could be any, for any reason that, you see fit.
Did something go out already or no? Wasn't
Well-
there a survey or something where you could pick someone?
Nominate?
Yeah, it was sent to us as I don't know if it went out, but we saw how it would look.
Yeah.
So that just has to be put up.
This was pretty pretty clean, pretty simple.
Yep.
Let's roll it out.
Yeah, we could do that, we could put it up on the website, we should.
And anyone can nominate.
Anybody, and
Yeah.
it could be anybody,
Right.
you know.
We could, to you, we could send a connected to the community, letting them know that it's there on the website, nominate somebody.
And again, the criteria is just anything. Why I think you're, my mom's great because she, whatever, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, you give me the final approval if that survey is good, or if you, I know it's been a while, maybe take a one
We
look
should
at
take
it.
another look at
If you-
it,
if you
but
say
it looks good.
If you say it's
Yeah,
good,
I liked it.
I'll put it up on the website, we'll do a connect ed message, we can do it that way.
Okay.
And then, hopefully we get people participating, and you guys could select someone, or if not, that's for me.
We have, yeah.
Sound like a plan?
Right.
All right, so
Then
we're good.
you'll let superintendent know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Okay, so that's good.
Thank you.
Mrs. Frio, you had,
Yes, so there was recently a change to the New York State law that increased the cap on the household income that qualifies a household to get a low-income senior citizens exemption and persons with disability exemption. So they increased the cap. Nassau County signed it into law, and school districts now have to decide whether or not they want to opt in. The cap went from $37,399 to $58,399, so it's like a $21,000 increase in the household income. Problem is, we're not really sure how we're supposed to know how many people are gonna qualify. How many households actually fall between that current 58 and the prior 37? Last year, we had 7 households that qualified. So it's very hard for us to determine what impact that has. And with any exemption, we know it is not taxes that are picked up by the state, it's sort of taxes that are picked up by the other taxpayers in the community.
Right.
So if we're raising $30 million in taxes and a group gets $500,000 reduction, which would never happen, let's say $500,000, that's $500,000. $500 less, the other taxpayers would then have to make that up. So we have to make a decision whether we're gonna opt in or opt out by January 2nd. We have to hold a public hearing, which is similar to what we're doing right now. We have to talk about it. And I wanted you to know about it. Our initial attempts to get information didn't work, so we're just gonna continue. We are working as a group, me and my colleagues.
are there pros to
I was just gonna say
opting
that.
in?
That's the
Or,
pros and cons.
Well, the pros would be, helping some of our lower income households.
Okay.
That's definitely a pro. The cons is we are making a decision that the rest of the taxpayers in the community are helping those taxpayers. It's not really, it's for you who live here, but it's also for the whole community.
So how do we accurately audit how many households that is, so that we can figure out what that tax increase will be subdivided by everyone who's gonna be paying that increase?
Well, that's the difficult thing. We had originally reached out to the assessor's office and asked, how many people actually fell in this? How many do we currently have, we know?
Right.
And how many will we now have if we brought the cap off? And they said they didn't have that information.
So how
That's more
do you know-
information.
I mean, there's really no information.
But
But we have to make a decision,
But we
like you
have-
said, Jen.
January 2nd. So, I mean, it's still, it's new, just found out about it, so maybe in another week or two, we'll get a little bit more guidance.
Yeah.
Typical of the state, here it is, and here's your deadline, and we'll let you know how to go about it 3 days before.
Is that something that we survey the community for? Or is that something that we just opt in, opt out, and relay that information transparently to the community? Just asking.
I think maybe that's something we can ask other districts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
that's
we
also
have
a
done.
very good idea to see districts in our size, how they handle it, what they do.
Yeah.
Apples to apples, so to speak.
Right.
Right now, we're all just,
Right. Right.
because we really don't
Yeah,
have,
we don't have any.
Yeah,
we don't have anything to tell
anything
you.
to go
Right,
by.
right.
And usually, we like, as business people, we like to tell you, what is this impact? Is it so small
I
that
think
it
that's what
really
we
is?
need to, that's what we
If
need to.
If it's so small and divided amongst the rest of the households, then it's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
But you know, the person that's making, you know, 59,000 may not think it's a good idea.
Right. That's what we have to say,
you know.
numbers.
So just so you know it's out there, in case you hear it, people start to ask about it, because that's what happens. We're gonna still continue to workshop as business officials to see, A, how we're gonna get the numbers, if we can have the numbers, and B, what are the surrounding districts have considered.
Sounds like a good plan.
I'll keep you
Just to
updated.
clarify, right, Jackie, is that this is not unique to East Rockwood, it's in New York State.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, just wanna make sure that's clear. Not just us.
All schools have to opt in or opt out.
New York State problem, they leave it up to us.
Yeah. Put it on the school.
Been there before.
Anyone other questions about that?
No, is there a specific name that they're calling it? Like, is there something they're rolling it out, like as a book?
You know, it's a law, you know, a law that was already in there for exemptions, one of the many exemptions they allow, just that they increased the cap.
Right.
You know, so they're not really, I mean, I can tell you what the exemption is called, it's called a low-income senior citizens exemption and person with disabilities.
It's very long. Sounds
Yeah,
complicated.
yeah. We have 7 to meet that right now.
Okay.
I don't know what we'll have next year.
So is it
Let's
just,
go do what's
is it
talking
just the
about
monetary value, or is it a senior citizen that's for disabled?
It's only for the senior
Only for
citizen
the senior
household and or persons with disabled household. And then based on that, the criteria is a certain household. I mean,
It's probably so minuscule.
I would think,
But let's see.
let's
Yeah.
take a look, I mean, $37,000 is very low for a household.
Yep.
Very low, it's
Very
amazing that anybody, that we have 7 households that are already qualify for this.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
Next item for discussion, I think the last item, outside placements.
I'd like to talk to that.
Yeah.
You know, as you know, we do a lot of placements, national BOCES, and great programs that national BOCES runs for us. And this particular past summer, some of the programs was starting to become limited in the amount of students that they could possibly hold, because there's been an upload, you know, across the county itself. So, you know, one of the things I've been thinking about is that a possibility of sending a letter over to Nassau BOCES Board of Education. And in my own mind, I have St. Raymond's, you know, as a possibility, as a satellite program, that they could run a program out on the South Shore. If you look at all the BOCES programs, they're on the north, they're either in Central or North Shore on the island. And I don't know of any that are on the South Shore, you know, so, I don't know, Mr. Healy, am I right there, or am I shooting off the list there?
There's a couple in one time.
Couple ones. Okay, okay, so maybe Weston.
Yeah.
Western South Shore is what I'm
That is
talking about.
100%.
There you go. But again, an idea, I think that the board could, we could draft off a letter to the Board of Education, like I said, at Nassau BOCES, and just the fact of that there is landscape available, and they're always looking to maximize their programs, and the possibility of some of our, you know, intensive special education students that could really benefit from something closer to home than making that long trip.
And that's something too, it could be students from surrounding districts.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not limited to, you know, don't forget, in our minds, right, St. Raymond's, because St. Raymond's.
Right.
No, it's anywhere and wherever, you know, the placement would come from. That's it.
Mm.
Sending school district would send them there, just like we send now.
Right.
That's the way that works.
Yeah.
Right, so I just thought that if everybody was on board, we could start that draft off and maybe get that over to Nassau BOCES.
That's good, that's a great idea.
Definitely.
Terrific. Okay. Yeah, and we'll reach into Mr. Healy for help on that one.
Great.
Thank you.
All right, so, that is it on the items for discussion. Is there anything anyone wants to add? Anything else? No?
Nope.
All right, so at this time, I'm gonna adjourn the meeting to go into executive session to discuss personnel matter. So I'd like to adjourn this meeting at 6:59 PM. Thank you and good night, everyone.